What's up, everyone? I'm Grizz, and welcome back for episode 2 of Death Note. The first episode felt pretty setup-like, I guess, just to kind of explain the general premise and idea behind probably the most important thing within the series, being the Death Note itself. Also allowed you to learn that they have different realms or worlds, I guess, and the Shinigami realm is one of them, in which we have Ryuk, and he is the rightful owner, I guess, of this Death Note, and he purposefully dropped this within our world, the human world, Earth, I guess, and he strictly did it because he was bored. But because he did that and he wanted to see what would happen, we have our main character Light, and Light has been putting this thing to use, only having it 5 days and filling out pages worth of names, getting rid of many people, although most of them being bad, actually all of them being bad, and that's his intention, is to purify the world, I guess, and start a new world almost. I believe that's what he said. However, I do have my suspicions that that's not going to go entirely well, due to the fact that a lot of people kind of get greedy with the things that happen in their life and kind of go off the rails a little bit, and I do have suspicions that that's going to kind of happen mentally for him, and it's going to become easier and easier, and there's going to be less and less of a reason for him needing, I guess, to kill off somebody. So am concerned about that, and he kind of wants to become a god of this new world, when I don't like the idea of that or the sound of that. So it definitely is concerning, but right now he is doing things for the greater purpose, in his mind at least, and I guess in most people's minds. So he's not doing anything bad so far, I guess. Although he technically is a murderer. So we'll have to see. If you do enjoy this, please leave a like and subscribe. They do mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion at the end of the episode. Leave any comments with any useful information you think will be good for me to know, or answer any of the questions, I guess, that I asked throughout the episode. Any other shows you want me to watch, feel free to recommend them down below. And now let's get going with episode 2. How come they're always in English class, I guess, so we're learning English throughout this? Like, wasn't it like that in the first episode too? I also feel like those lines and translations and stuff that they've been doing is important to understanding something, but I'm probably not going to piece that together. So if they are, please let me know, and then I'll pay a lot more attention to them. But if they're not, I'm not going to focus too much. Also, why is he going to school? He can't just kind of watch over him from a distance? Just to just follow up on him? How goofy he looks. I thought we were going to go have fun. So he just watches the news intently and writes down all these bad people's names. He's got a world to purify. I don't know that part too well, though. Yes, mother. Because I'm focusing. Oh, sister? Look at all this knowledge he's surrounded by in this room. Ooh. Does he lose the power when that happens? To see him, I'm saying? Like, can only one person see him at a time, or can multiple? So if she touches it, they both can. We're definitely going to have an encounter where somebody touches it, that means. Yeah. Yeah, what a coincidence. Yeah, I agree with them. It definitely is murder, but am I gonna be the one who has a problem with it, considering, you know, the type of people that they're getting rid of? Personally, though. So this is all reasonable suspicion so far from these guys. What L solved this? I have heard the name before. I will be honest. I don't know who. Maybe when I see him, I'll know. Oh, alright. So maybe you don't know what he looks like then. So he probably has some sort of ability then? Like some sort of certain power? Is he a Shinigami too? That's why none of them know what he looks like. And they can't contact him. He just kind of moves in silence. Hello, Trenchcoat Man. Yeah, and how do you have contact with him? Watari. So he's his boy. So is L a Shinigami then? No, because they're gonna be able to hear him. Hello. Mm-hmm. So is he changing the name on the front? Yeah, so he's being smart about it, going about things the right way. Why? How do you know? Oh yeah, because they're all dying from there. Yeah. More specifically, I think. They put something on like around the outside of it. Ah, clever. Okay. And then the secret little compartment. Yep. Seen stuff like this before. Yep. Okay, makes sense. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? What happens if he destroys the notebook though? That's what I'm curious about. It's not a good one, but it is believable. And you've got it all sorted out. You diffy. You're not like the others. You have, yeah. Yeah. You've been playing with fire to begin with, I guess, yeah. Kira. Who's this Kira person? Who's posing as the person doing it? I don't like that my nickname has become killer, yeah. That's just thrilling for him. Yeah. So he thinks it's a really good thing because of that, yeah. So it's like people who are too afraid publicly, I guess, to talk about it, or want to like shame it publicly, or secretly, you know, the ones actually like contributing to it or rooting for it, as I think essentially what he's getting at. Like it's easy to say one thing, but actually believe in the other, you know. And he's kind of accomplishing his goal if he's being hidden while getting all this done still.
私は全世界の警察を動かせる唯一の人間。リンドエル・テイラー。通称、エルです。
Oh. I thought we weren't allowed to know who you were.
相次ぐ犯罪者を狙った連続殺人。これは絶対に許してはならない。史上最大の凶悪犯罪です。
I wouldn't say that's the most atrocious act in history. Let's slow down there.
必ず捕まえるってよ。捕まるわけがない。絶対不可能。警察が動くのも、こんなのが出てくるのも計画のうちさ。
キラ、お前がどのような考えでこのようなことをしているのか、大体想像はつく。
Do you know?
悪だと。僕は正義だ。見える弱い者を救い、誰もが理想とする新世界の神となる男だ。そしてその神に逆らう者、それこそが悪だ。
Those who oppose the god are evil. Yeah, I don't know about that.
もう少し賢ければ面白くなったかもしれないのに。
Except that's not his real name. So you're not actually gonna kill him. That's definitely not his real name.
僕に逆らうとどうなるか。世界中が注目しているよ。
And see, he's starting to do what I said. It's starting to become people who don't even do much or aren't actually evil themselves. This guy did absolutely nothing wrong, and he wrote his name in the book because he opposed him. Okay, so it was a real person. But I have my suspicions that's not the actual real L, and he used a fake person. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he can kill people without any wrongdoing either. Oh, okay. So that's not a bad thing. We're good. Alright. Yeah. So using this to try and figure out his tactics. You can't kill me. Why can't you kill me? What don't you know? What do you need to know? Yeah. But it's not. Yeah, and he narrowed him down to where he is. Yep. He really got you. He said he was going to. Yep. Yeah, this has gone better than you probably could have imagined. That's why they call him the best in the business. Yeah, what do you think this is? He got what he wanted. Two different sides, two different versions of justice. All right, so now we feel set up. I initially felt after the first episode that was basically the setup, but I think that was more of the setup of what exactly Light's plan is and what his power is basically for this and what's going to be occurring, I guess. And now this episode kind of sets up the real conflict that we're going to occur, unless this is just an arc and then like it's going to be in multiple different, you know, types of arcs. If that's the case, then this is not the whole story. story. This is just kind of whatever. Anyways, we basically get introduced to L. L is this, I don't know if they said he's a detective or what he is, but he basically just helps out when, I guess, people around the world, it seems like, have things in which they need to be like solved or have him help with or have him handle in a way. And he doesn't show his face and nobody knows his actual name outside of L, but he's like the best in the business. He's as good as they come at cracking down on this and discovering and getting all the information that he needs, right? And helping bring justice to people, right? That's what this is all about. He does have one connection with that detective looking guy, so I don't know if that's going to be important to be able to find our connection to who L actually is. I don't know. Regardless, we have our two characters at odds here, and the game is basically set up for L to track down and figure out exactly who Light is and sentence him to death and bring justice to everybody around him because he is a murderer in his eyes and needs to be stopped. Light, on the other hand, views somebody like L trying to stop the creation of this new world in which he's trying to build and stop his process that he views best fitting to bring justice to those around him and create this peaceful, beautiful utopia of a world. And the two are essentially at odds with what they view as justice and what they think it is. And it seems like L just essentially thinks it's stopping bad people from doing bad things, right? Something as simple as that. And Light seems to be thinking it is purifying like the entire world and disposing by any sort of means of these bad people. But not just that, it's also his vision of creating this new world in which he is in control and has all the power, right? Although L, I guess, doesn't know that exact motive, but he probably has a general idea. I love the strategy that he used, absolutely, at the beginning where they were like, he's the best, at doing this. And he asked for a few things and he's like, I can do this. I have my suspicions. And then we find out, I guess first he had the dude on the TV who the moment he appeared on the TV, you kind of get that vibe that he definitely wasn't actually him and it was somebody else. I just assumed he just put somebody up there with a fake name, but it actually ends up being even smarter when you put somebody up there with a real name and then have Light go out of his way to kill him. Because one, Light doesn't actually know that this guy is a murderer or a death row inmate, I guess they said. So Light going out of his way and snapping instantly over one dude who's trying to put a stop to whatever it is that Light is attempting to do here, and him going out of his way to write his name down and try and get him killed just shows you, I guess, what I was talking about last episode, how far he's willing to go. And before, it was strictly, people doing bad things, but I don't view what L was doing here as a bad thing. But I guess in Light's world, his perfect world, this is a bad thing because somebody is trying to prohibit and stop what it is he's trying to do. Anyways, he goes out of his way and essentially gets this guy killed. And then L basically reveals that wasn't me, first of all, and you realistically just killed a dude. You didn't have to have contact with him. So you got some crazy shit going on, which was a cool, smart way to figure that out. And you'd think that that ends there. But then you later on find out where he said before he thinks he's in Japan, he specifically broadcasted this to a specific district or region or whatever they're called. And I believe this was his first time probably broadcasting this. And he immediately found out where Light is located. So now it's setting us up for this battle of two dudes who seem to be incredibly smart. L definitely seems to be the smarter of the two. Go on this journey to hunt each other down and I guess stop them and bring justice to the world in which each of them are trying to create in a way, which is really fascinating. So I am enjoying this a lot. I don't know where, I guess, Light goes from here. I don't really know his process or his ways that he's going to be able to try and track down L or put a stop to him. Whereas L himself, I feel like, has a perfect opportunity to track down with the help of the entire Japan and getting the police involved and everything. He has the perfect opportunity to kind of figure this out, whether it has to be some sort of invasion where they have to invade into the houses and search them, or just keep an eye out for strange patterns that they're seeing and, use whatever they can to track him down. Now, having this be a high school student is probably going to be a little bit more difficult for him to wrap his head around than initially find. But I am excited to, figure that out. And overall, just watch everything like this unfold. I guess I will touch on also the first half of the episode with the book and anybody who comes in contact with it. I was confused, I guess. So if anybody can still answer that for me, if his sister ended up touching the book, she'd be able to, I guess, hear and see Ryuk. So is that a thing where Light can no longer see and hear him, or is it multiple people can now and they're both kind of belongers of the book? I don't actually know. But regardless, he did create something like a trap almost so that nobody can actually get into his drawer and find the book and touch it and cause issues. And it's very dangerous, and he basically does something that can light the entire house on fire. But it's a really smart strategy, I guess, and it's a way to keep it hidden and prevent any of that ever happening. I do assume we have a situation at some point though where somebody does touch the book and is able to see Ryuk. I don't know when that'll happen, but I do believe that'll probably happen at some point. I also like Ryuk's role in this, and he's just kind of there. Like he kind of instigates, I guess, but he doesn't actually do anything. He just kind of watches and observes what they do because this is what he wanted to, and he figured that this would be fun. So he's not really on the side of anybody, and he's just kind of seeing what's happening, and I do like that. And it gives Light somebody almost to talk to so that we can see and hear what he's thinking, so that we don't just have to have like internal monologue the entire time, which is cool. But I do struggle to understand, I guess, where Ryuk's role is really going to play into this outside of initially bringing this for us and having to kind of follow Light around now. I do struggle to know exactly what his role is ultimately going to be within the show. That's going to be all from me. If you liked, please hit the like and subscribe button. They do mean a lot to me. Also, let me know anything down in the comments that you feel may be useful for me, or confirm or whatever, deny things that I was saying, just to kind of get me on the right train of thought, and or give me some extra information if you feel it is needed for me to know. Follow me on Twitter and my anime list. Both of those links are in the description. Recommend any other shows you would like me to watch. Check out the other videos on the channel, and I will be back for episode 3 some other day. You have a good one.